let's jump back a little bit to your engineering days. Well, not yours, but when you sought an engineering team.
Hmm.
Did you
Yes.
come with them with the idea, or was it derived from the meetings with your engineers when you're trying to make a product that was unique than what was already out there?
So what I did was I was trying to explain it to someone over the phone, and
Mhm.
he said, "Hey, listen, let's have a meeting. But if you could kind of demonstrate to me what you're talking about, so I can
Right.
get my head around it." And I'm like, "Sure." So I'm like, "How am I going to demonstrate what I'm talking about? Because it doesn't exist." So what I did
Right.
was I took, and I don't know how to sew, but I took two uh, pocket squares and I took aluminum foil and I bent the aluminum foil into X amount of layers. How many it was. I put in the
Right.
center. And actually, I was at my family's house, and I'm like, "Listen, Ma, I don't know how to sew. I can try, but is there any way you can help me with this?" And she's like, "Oh yeah, 100%. I got you." So she sewed it, and I don't have it. It's somewhere. It'll be in that pocket square. That's gonna be in like the pockets for a whole
Definitely.
day one day. But
Museum, right? Yeah.
yeah, right. So I had this, and I brought it to him, and he's like, "Oh, now I totally understand what you're saying." He's like, "I thought it was this and that." Like he had a very different understanding in his engineering mind of how this could work. And he's like, "This is actually easier than what I had in mind. Like as far as like functionality." He's like, "What I
Right.
had was way more complex, and honestly, probably I don't know if it would have worked, but this I get." So I'm like, "Great." So he really worked with me, like he was incredible
Nice.
and showed me the ropes. But then he also like, so he's a mechanical engineer, I want to say, and then he goes, "I really would like to refer you or recommend that you work with somebody um that has worked with metals more in the past." He's like, "Because I could help you, but to a point, and I want to just also respect your process, and I don't
Right.
want to like misguide you." So I appreciate that. It meant the
Or
world.
hold you back, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so I worked with somebody else who was incredible, and he got me to a certain point, and we got the metal right. He's like, "But you know what?" He's like, "I got to tell you, I don't know anything about fabrics.
Fabrics.
I want to." Yeah, yeah. So he's like, "Yeah." He's like, you should really find an engineer that works with fabrics." I'm like, "Shit." So then I go there. So I work with three engineers, and to be honest with you, what actually had the just as a positive effect as any of the engineers. I mean, they all really helped tremendously. But I worked with one guy who worked in the garment district in New York City
Mm.
for 40 years.
Oh yeah.
And knows fabric better than this guy. I don't care if you're an engineer. This guy
Right.
knows like the back
Right.
of his hand. So I work
Right.
with him, and he's rolling. We're going to the store. We're pulling out all these fabrics. Like, I was like taping. I was like, "Hey guys, like I don't know what I'm doing, but here we are." And this guy
No.
I
doesn't.
got it, bro.
Yeah, yeah. So through his help and all the engineers, we got to a viable product. So man, if you had told me, actually, I was asked. So when I first called my attorney, and she asked me when I first came to the idea with her. I don't know if she asked me just to ask it for her entertainment, or if she thought I was really thinking this, but she goes, "When do you think you'll be rolling out your company?" I go, "I don't want to say a year, so probably 10 months." It was years, man.